covering Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. This is ABC 12 News at noon.
In New York today, a solemn bell tolled in a moment of silence at 8:46 a.m. and 9:03 a.m. The minute each World Trade Center towers north and south was struck 22 years ago today. Ceremonies of remembrance are happening in New York, at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, honoring the almost 3,000 lives lost in the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. Today, the nation pauses to remember the deadliest attack in American history. ABC's Aaron Katersky reports.
At the Pentagon, where 184 people died in the September 11th attacks, taps marked the moment when an American Airlines jet hijacked by al-Qaeda terrorists made impact. An American.
You'll see the flags lowered at half-staff across our state today. Governor Gretchen Whitmer ordered all U.S. and Michigan flags within the state capitol complex to be lowered to honor 9/11 victims. Michiganders, businesses, schools, local governments, and other organizations also are encouraged to display the flag at half-staff. Flags should be returned to full staff tomorrow morning. And the United Way of Genesee County, Valley Area Agency on Aging, and U of M Flint's Public Safety will all partner to host a 9/11 Day of Service today. It runs until 4 this afternoon at Flint's University Community Park. That's on Garden View Drive, just north of downtown. Volunteers are working on a variety of landscaping projects to help reclaim the abandoned park. Congressman Dan Kildee was there to speak, and Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely made an appearance at the beautification project. And a Bay City museum is honoring first responders and remembering 9/11 in a unique way. This is at the Antique Toy and Firehouse Museum. You can see the historic fire trucks on your screen now. Ahead of the somber anniversary, the museum had free presentations, fire truck rides, and much more.
Our mission here is to preserve the history of our firefighting and emergency response community, to educate the community about this important history, and then really to celebrate the accomplishments both of the past and of the present.
And organizers thank fellow Mid-Michigan groups like the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society for helping to make the day a reality.
Now, your Storm Tracker 12 forecast.
And by the end of this week, nearly 150,000 auto workers nationwide could walk off the job if a deal is not reached with Detroit's big three automakers. The United Auto Workers has denied counterproposals from GM, Ford, and Stellantis ahead of the Thursday night deadline. The union is demanding a 46% pay raise, a 32-hour work week, and a return to traditional pensions. According to a Michigan economic consulting firm, a 10-day strike could cost the U.S. economy more than $5 billion. And Michigan State University has suspended head football coach Mel Tucker without pay. The school's Title IX office is investigating accusations that he sexually harassed an activist and rape survivor. USA Today reported the allegations late Saturday night made by Brenda Tracy. Michigan State hired a Title IX attorney to investigate Tracy's complaint. That investigation concluded in July. A formal hearing is set for October 5th and 6th to determine if Tucker violated the school's policy against sexual violence. The school's interim president and athletic director addressed the media Sunday afternoon.
As there have been new developments before the hearing, and with the best interests of everyone, including student athletes and the university community in mind, I have suspended Mel Tucker without pay as an additional interim measure.
And athletic director Alan Holler only fielded 3 questions after announcing Tucker's suspension without pay. He confirmed that Harlan Barnett, the Spartans' secondary coach and former MSU player, would serve as head coach on an interim basis. He also announced that former head coach Mark D'Antonio will be the sideline in some capacity.
I called Coach D'Antonio this morning, and his response was, "Alan, whatever you need, I'm here to help." We're still trying to figure out his role But he definitely will wear a headset either on the sidelines and up in the booth, and he'll offer his knowledge of his coaching career. So I think he'll be a tremendous asset for our student athletes and our staff, and the student athletes were fired up when I mentioned that to them.
And again, Tucker is on unpaid suspension. At stake whether the school could potentially dismiss him with cause and avoid paying him the remainder of his $95 million fully guaranteed contract. Michigan State football hosts Washington at Spartan Stadium this Saturday. And Tucker reportedly befriended Brenda Tracy when she visited campus to speak to the football team in 2021. Over the next several months, the football team and Tracy would partner up to advocate for sexual assault awareness. That came ahead of Tucker's massive extension that made him one of the highest paid coaches in the nation. The relationship reportedly took a turn in April of 2022 when Tucker is accused of inappropriate conduct during a phone call with her. Tucker reportedly characterized the phone conversation as consensual. A Title IX complaint was made in December, and that probe wrapped up this past July. Again, a hearing is set for the week of October 5th. Now, Tucker is married and has 2 children. The 51-year-old signed a 10-year, $95 million contract extension with MSU in 2021. And a little more about Brenda Tracy. You can see some of the photos from her visit to MSU in 2021 and 2022. She founded a nonprofit, Set the Expectation, when she came forward about her own experience as a rape survivor. She has said she was gang raped by 4 college football players in 1998 and uses her story in talks to college-age men. Tracy was named an honorary captain for MSU's spring football game in April 2022, just days before the alleged phone call between her and Tucker. Coming up, the latest details from Morocco as rescuers are working to find survivors after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit the nation. We turn now to Morocco, where rescue workers are working through the night after a massive 6.8 magnitude earthquake, the deadliest in that country's history, and the death toll continues to rise. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
Video capturing the terrifying moment a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Morocco.
I'm really scared.
People running for their lives. Powerful aftershocks continuing through the weekend. This wedding ceremony in the city of Marrakesh brought to a halt when the massive quake hits. But south of that city, in the remote...
In Bay City took some time to celebrate kids over the weekend. United Way We Go held its 2nd annual celebration in downtown Bay City at Winoa Park. Front and center was a youth fashion show aimed at nurturing self-confidence and self-acceptance with models ranging from 4 to 18 years old. Young entrepreneurs were even there with makeup, accessories, and clothing.
As United We Go, our mission is we want to bring people closer, and we want people to know each other more through encourage collaboration and also through celebrating diversity, inclusion, and harmony.
And United We Go is a nonprofit that encourages and supports young people and their diverse talents. In a Saginaw Catholic parish marked a milestone anniversary this weekend. St. Joseph Parish held a banquet to celebrate 150 years after first opening its doors in 1873. The historic parish says it first served Irish immigrants in the area working on the Flint and Pierre Marquette Railroad Station. It later served people who migrated from the South who came to harvest sugar beets in the region and work for General Motors. The church is now in its 3rd building located on 6th Avenue. Still ahead, Mount Kilauea is erupting in Hawaii for the 2nd time in 3 months. We'll take a look at the fountains of lava shooting up into the air.